Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka Nabi Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Good morning and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Instagram fam, friends and followers of As-Safi. And thank you for getting up with me. Thank you for joining me for another installment of our series, Revert Reflections. This week's theme is hanging on, or practical methods to hang on and hang in when your faith is being tested. And we've been talking about the practical means, the practical ways that if we employ them, if we utilize them correctly, will enable us to find the strength, to find the certainty, to find the Iman, to remain committed to our commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to avoid breaching our covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the temptation to breach our covenant with Allah. And yesterday we talked about keeping good company, and today we're going to talk about fostering certainty through knowledge of Allah, His names and His attributes. And I want to begin with a quote from Al-Imaam Ibn Al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala, a very beautiful quote where he talks about the importance of this knowledge. So bear with me. He says, "The souls have no greater need than their need for awareness of their benefactor and creator, and there is no path to the achievement of this awareness except through knowledge of His qualities and names. The more knowledgeable a person is regarding them, the more familiar with and nearer to Allah he will become, and the more actively he will seek His pleasure. The more knowledgeable we are, the more we will want to please Allah, serve Allah. The less he knows of these names and attributes, the more ignorant of and further from Allah he will be. And the less Allah will like them. And the less Allah will like him. Because Allah's assessment of His servant reflects His servant's assessment of him. So he says, the less he knows of these names and attributes, the more ignorant of and further from Allah he will be. But on the other side of that, Allah will what? Will distance Himself, figuratively, He'll distance Himself from him. And Allah will like him less. The less he knows about Allah, the less Allah will like him, because Allah's assessment of His servant reflects His servant's assessment of him. That if we have a high opinion of Allah, Allah will have a high opinion of us, and the opposite is also correct. So the more we know of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more motivated we will be to worship Him. Just think about it, brothers and sisters. How can you love someone that you hardly know? If we don't know Allah, how can we love Him? How can you truly appreciate someone if you are unaware of the favors, of their favors upon you? If you're unaware of this, how can you truly love them? How can you truly appreciate them? It's easy, brothers and sisters, to betray someone that you don't know. It's easy to betray someone that you don't know, that you have no connection to. It's easy to betray them. But it's hard to betray someone that you know intimately. It's easy to betray someone when you don't know them, and when you don't know the consequences that they're able to bring to bear, the consequences they're able to make you face. When you don't know what they are capable of, it's easy to betray them. But when you know what they're capable of, when you know that there will be consequences, you're less likely to betray them. It's easy to work, brothers and sisters, for someone's sake when you know how generous they are. When you know how much they will give you in exchange as a recompense for the work that you do. It's easy to work for someone like that. And so we need to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for these reasons. We'll never betray Allah if we know Allah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We'll never betray Allah if we know Allah, because we know what the consequences will be. We know what He's capable of. We will truly love Allah if we know Allah. But if we don't know Allah, how can we love Him? We'll truly appreciate Allah when we know all of the favors. When we truly sit back and reflect upon all of the favors of Allah, we'll appreciate Him, and we'll want to show our appreciation through being more committed. We'll want to live a more committed and righteous life to basically show our appreciation, to give thanks and gratitude to Allah for all of His favors. So brothers and sisters, we need to know Allah, and knowing Allah will help us hang on and hang in when our faith is being tested. And so therefore, brothers and sisters, it is critical for us, especially in the early stages of our development, our spiritual development, in the early stages of being Muslim and doing the Muslim thing. It's critically important for us to learn about Allah. Sometimes our focus in terms of our learning, it goes off in a direction that's not truly practically helpful for us, especially in trying to what? In trying to treat the roots of Iman and make them grow thick and strong such that the tree of Iman cannot be easily uprooted. We're studying things that are not helpful, are not useful in this regard. We're studying very complex and advanced pieces of knowledge that will not help us when those strong winds blow to prevent our tree of Iman from being uprooted. And so it's critical for us in the beginning stages especially to learn about Allah. Learn about the one that we worship. Learn about Allah such that we love Him, such that we appreciate Him, such that there is a great hesitancy, that's an understatement, to betray Him. Such that it's easy for us. We work for Him happily because we are eager to get the rewards and the blessings that He will give us in exchange for our work. We need to learn about Allah. We need to make this a cornerstone of what learning we do. And even worse than not focusing on learning about Allah in the early stages and throughout our development, in fact, is the people who they become Muslim and they don't study at all. They're not connected to knowledge at all. And we're going to talk about, inshallah ta'ala, the importance of knowledge as a practical means to hang on and hang in when our faith is being tested. Knowledge generally, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Until then, brothers and sisters, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless your day, to bless your houses, to bless your spouses, to bless your children, to bless your rizq, to bless your income and the revenue that comes into your life, to put blessing in that and to bless you and to make you blessed wherever you may be. Until tomorrow, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh from Team As-Safi.